The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users. On demand on iTunes, on demand on YouTube, and now, thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, distributed to cable systems serving an additional 12 million households. I'm your host, Gary Baumgarten. Well, very interesting story crossed the wire today. It's an Associated Press story. I read it on 1010wins.com. 1010 Wins, the most listened to station in the nation. More people wake up to 1010 Wins than any other station in the nation. Our partner quite often here at News Talk Online, the all-news radio station here in New York City. The story talks about Iraqi hairdressers who have gone underground because what has happened is that Muslim fundamentalist fanatic fiends have been blowing up salons, killing hairdressers, intimidating women because they dared to go to a hairdresser, get their hair cut or styled or colored even, God forbid. Maybe they got some makeup, they got their nails done. It made them feel better about themselves. But, according to these fundamentalists, that's against Islamic law, and therefore penalty is death. Let me make my point very clear about this and tell you why I chose this story as the catalyst for our discussion today. I'm not into bashing any religion, as you all know, including, in this case, the Muslim religion. Not at all. And frankly, if people feel that because of their religious beliefs, women ought to be covered from head to toe, they want to practice that in their homes, and they want to urge their fellow Muslims to not allow for their women to be sexual objects, that is fine. I have absolutely no problem with that. But when you impose your will upon another, whether it is a fellow Muslim or someone who is not a Muslim, then I have a problem with what you are doing. And I really am beginning to wonder about this whole business of religion. We're killing one another, members of our own faith who practice it differently than we do, members of other faiths who refuse to convert or revert to our faith. This has been going on for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen things such as the Crusades and the Inquisition. And now we see what we call terrorist attacks in the name of religion. Why we cannot just, as Rodney King suggests, all get along is beyond me. Why we can't have the Western view of religion, which suggests that we are pluralistic in our outlook. If you want to practice the Christian faith or the Jewish faith or the Muslim faith or the Buddhist faith or the Hindu faith, whatever faith you want to practice, or no faith whatsoever, if you believe in God or a supreme being and you want to profess that publicly or privately, or if you do not believe, or if you question, if you're an atheist or if you're an agnostic, that is your prerogative. And it's not up to me to come to you and say, you know what, you are practicing your religion incorrectly, or your lack of religion is an affront to mine, and I threaten you, or I attack you. Or because I believe that women religiously ought to be covered and be pious, if you sell bikinis, then should I blow up your bathing suit store at the beach? Because it's horrible that you allow these women to go out public looking like this. I just do not understand this. And I want to say, and if you read my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, I've written pretty extensively about this today. Might help you in catching up to my thoughts about it. I really have disregard for those who, as a result of fundamentalists, attack the Muslim faith as a whole, um, because their attitudes, if not their actions, are reflective of the very people who they profess to oppose, those who are dogmatic and who have little regard for others' points of view. So I reject them out of hand as well. But at least the people who are professing that are not going out killing other individuals because of the way they practice their beliefs. And so let's have a good intellectual discussion. And I want to hear all points of view about this. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me matters not to me. I want to hear what you have to say about this issue. Let's start with Boaz Franco. Boaz is joining us from Los Angeles. Boaz, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Well, thank you very much, Gary. Good afternoon, good evening to everybody. You know, this is a complicated issue, Gary, especially in our times today. Many people would say, many people have here, let's say, in the United States, in our society, have adopted a new attitude towards a particular religion, and this religion specifically is the religion of Islam. That negative attitude towards this religion is a direct result of the terrorist attack on 9/11/2001. Terrorist attacks on in the homeland, in the United States, is a new experience for the American people on such a magnitude, such as the Twin Towers in Manhattan. So it is, on one hand, natural for the American people not to know exactly how to handle the aftermath in society of such a terrorist attack. If we go back to the attack on Pearl Harbor, there was a resentment towards Japanese Americans that lived in the United States, and then the fact of the matter is that we took many of those Japanese Americans and put them in detention camps as a direct result of what happened with Pearl Harbor. But today we don't do that. And what is interesting, Gary, is that a society that has not been exposed. I think this is. I think that this is going to be more of an explanation, Gary, rather than a justification. But American society has not been exposed that long to Islamic radical terrorism. If we take the example of society in Israel that has been exposed to radical Islamic terrorism for over a half a century, you're going to find that most Israelis do not hate the Islamic religion, despite the many suicide bombings, despite the many terrorist attacks, the many wars that Israel's been through. And I think the reason for that, Gary, is because Israel has had enough time to make the determination that it's not the Islamic religion itself that is causing the turmoil in the world, the terrorism, but the people themselves, a small percentage of Muslims that do follow the